Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Here today we'll discuss on the design of gantry girder part 2. In this juncture, I want to say everyone to see this lecture video with the conjuncture with the previous video for design of gantry girder part 1 and introduction to the gantry girder. So today we are starting. We have done with this video up to this level that we have chosen the section to be used as a gantry girder. We have decided that the section will consist of IS WB 600 and IS MC 300 as a channel cap. So nextly we will go for the calculation of the sectional property. At the beginning, we have chosen and noted the values of this two road section from the sectional property handbook SP6 of IS code. So from this, first of all, we have tried to calculate the IYY compound. IYY compound is calculated from this value. So IYY compound is the summation of these two value, IYY compound of the IYY of the ISWB 600, we have put it here, and we have added this value of IXX of ISMC. Now the question is why we have added IXX of ISMC with IYY of ISWB, because in ISWB it was placed like this and the cap channel is placed like this. So the cap channel, the y-axis of the ISWB is compatible with the x-axis of the ISMC. So we have added this to find out the compound IYY. Now let us come to the calculation of the IXX of the compound section. For that we have formed a table of 8 numbers of columns. At the first column we have referred the type of the section. Second column we have noted the cross sectional area from the table given in the previous slide. Now here we have calculated the CG from the top, at the extreme most top of the cap channel. So the distance is 300 plus the thickness of the wave of the cap channel is 7.6, so it is coming as 307.6 millimeter. Nextly, this is noted in IS code handbook, that is SP6, as 23.6, which is denoted as CXX. So we have taken that value. It is referred here also in this portion. So here we have multiplied the second column with the third column to get AIYI, because the formula of the CG is summation of AIYI divided by summation of AI. So we have taken these two sum and divided it to find out the CG, position of the CG. In the next step, in the sixth column, what we have, and fifth column, we have just noted the value or copied the value of the moment of inertia from the table, and here we have calculated y bar minus yi whole square. This is an element of the parallel axis transfer which is required because the centroidal axis of the single section is not matching with the CG of the compound section. So here we have calculated the parallel axis transferred moment of inertia in this column, in the ninth column. We can see the seventh column was formed by only multiplying the third column, second column, the area, with the sixth column to form the seventh column. So we here added this column, that is seventh column, with the fifth column, that where is we have referred the I, and we calculated the total IXX of the compound section. Now nextly, here we can see the CG is known to us. So the rest of portion we have calculated the distance 359.94. Just 600 plus 7.6 will give the total. So I have subtracted this one to get this. Now we have tried to calculate the elastic section modulus ZEZ, which is Ixx by Ymax. Ymax is here 359.94 and we have calculated this value, the elastic section modulus. To calculate the plastic section modulus, we have to go for the first to calculate the plastic neutral axis calculation. Today we have ignored in this calculation the fillets, that is the curvature and all these fillets of this roll section. Let us see, we have taken the help of a basic property of plastic neutral axis. This is plastic neutral axis, how it is positioned, and let the distance is at a amount of capital YI from the bottom of the top flange. So we have taken this property, help of this property, where we have seen the area above the area of the cross section above the plastic neutral axis is equal to the area below the plastic neutral axis. So here we have calculated like this. 4564 is the area of the cap channel. This is the next one, is the area 250 into 21.3 is the area of the top flange of the ISWB, and the rest out portion, this one, the area of this portion of the wave is YI into TW. TW is known to us, it is written in the table. So here 15 into 21.3 is the area of the bottom flange, and this is the area of the wave of the rest out portion. So this is 600, the total, minus 2 into 21.3, that is we have subtracted the thickness of two flanges to get the inner distance of this distance of the wave, and we have subtracted this one YI and it multiplied by 11.2, which is the thickness TW, and we have calculated the value of YI here, which is coming as 74.95 millimeter. Now we know the position of the neutral axis, plastic neutral axis. So we have tried to calculate the plastic section modulus, which will be required for checking the section under bending condition. So we have divided it in two parts, that ZPZ for the top portion is termed as ZPZ1, and ZPZ of the bottom portion will be termed as ZPZ2. So let us see the calculation. This portion is 300, this is referring towards the wave portion of the cap channel. 300 into 7.6 is the thickness of the wave channel width actually. So it is 74.95 this distance into plus 21.3 plus 7.6 divided by 2. What we are doing actually to find out ZP, we are taking A into Y distance, that is the CJ distance of this section concerned from the neutral axis. So it will be 7.6 divided by 2 from the CG of the wave of the cap channel. Nextly, we have in this portion, this line, we have calculated the AI of this flange of the cap channel. So cap channel is 90 millimeter, but we have to subtract 7.6 because this portion we have already taken into account for the wave. So we have subtracted it and we have multiplied it with 13.6 is the thickness of the channel flange, and we have multiplied it with 2 because there are two flanges and we have to multiply it with the distance again. So how much is the distance? It's 74.95 plus 21.3. It is gone up to this level, the inner portion. Then we have to subtract the thickness of the channel, this portion, that is 90 minus 7.6, then divided by 2. So it is AY. Nextly, we have calculated this portion, the channel, the beam flange portion. It is 250 into 21.3, simple, and is 7.94 plus 21.3 divided by 2. So it is easy. Now this one, the wave, ISMB wave portion, this is 74.95, this is this portion, and 11.2 is the thickness, and it is, the distance will be 74.95 divided by 2. So we have calculated this value, 838.775 into 10 to the power 3 millimeter cube. Let's come to the bottom portion. First of all, we have calculated the bottom flange. It is 250 into 21.3, the area. The distance is 600 here to top. From the outer of the beam to the outer of this flange, outer to outer of the flange is 600, minus 21.3 will come here, minus 74.95 will come here, and then we have to subtract 21.3 by 2. So how it is coming? So it is 600, then we have subtracted 21.3, then we have subtracted 21.3, then we have subtracted this one, and then for this 21.3 by 2. So here to here the CG distance has been calculated. Now nextly, we have calculated this portion, and which is 600 into 2 in 2 minus 600 is out distance, minus 2 flange thickness, minus this distance 74.95 divided by 2 into 2. So and then it's been multiplied by this 11.2, and we have calculated the portions of the ZP Z2, this portion of the plastic section modulus, and we have added it to find out the total plastic section modulus ZPZ. It is coming as 476795 into 10 to the power 3 millimeter cube. So let us come here. We have to calculate the section modulus of the compression flange, because compression flange is in a vulnerable condition which may buckle in off plane, that is in about y axis. So herein we will see the section again. We have only considered the top flange portion, the cap channel, and this flange. The cap channel area, the top flange area is 250 into 21.3, and that will be multiplied by this half the distance, the CG distance here to here will be 250 by 4, because total is 250 by 2, then half will be 250 by 4. It's okay. So this is being considered for the flange. Nextly, this portion we have calculated for the wave, which is again we have taken this this portion 300 minus 13.6, this thickness, into 2, because both sides will be subtracted, and 7.6 is the thickness. Then we have to multiply this 13.6, this 300 minus 13.6 into 2 divided by 4. So it is coming as this square divided by 8, because one time we have multiplied with this by 2 and then this by 4. So it is resulting to this is all divided by 8. Now let us come to this portion. This is the flange of this cap channel, and the area is again known to us. We have multiplied it with 2 because it is, there are 2 flanges, and the CG distance is 300 minus 13.6, the thickness, divided by 2. So we have calculated this portion. Now we will come to the sectional property, that is the classification of the section. We have to find out the class of the section, whether it is plastic or semi-compact or compact. So let us come to this provision of the code here. So in the provision of the code, we will see here, it is in table 2 of IS 800 2007. We have to find out the ratio of B by TF and B by TW. What is B? This B is the half of the flange outstand. That is, how much is outstanding? That is this portion, this this portion, we may say, let us come take a pen, and this is the outstand for the beam flange, and this is the outstand for the top cap channel flange. So which is used as a channel here. So you will see that we have calculated the B king BF by 2. BF is 250, which is given in the table itself. So it is coming here as 8. This ratio is coming resulting to 5.86, which is less than 8.4, which is referred here for welded section. It is 8.4. For rolled section, it is 9.4. We may take it also for as 9.4. So because rolled section is used here, so we have pointed out this here. And for the channel section, it is also calculated and coming as 6.5, which is again less than 8.4. Let us come to the check for weight portion, and here we'll see the weight portion should come less than 8.4 for the case, and here we are getting it as 49.6. How we have checked? How we have taken the this d, small d is the depth of the wave, is to overall depth 600 minus 2 into flange thickness, and which will be divided by the thickness of the wave. And here we have seen that both of the cases it is referring to class 1 type of section, which is plastic class, and so the beta b for the beam check will be equals to 1 for the plastic class of section. In the next slide, we will first of all check the capacity of the shear, because before the bending check we have to check the capacity of shear to check whether there is any high shear problem or not. This is very important here, whether there is a high shear problem. If there is a high shear problem, the checking of the formula of the bending check will change, and that's why we are checking the shear before the bending check. Maximum shear due to the wheel load we have calculated is 391. Now we have considered impact here as 10%. Why we have taken 10%? If we consider hand operated crane, we have to consider 10% impact value. If it is a electrically operated or mechanized crane, we have to take 25%. So it will be multiplied by 1.25. Here we have multiplied it with 1.1, and we have got the shear which is occurring due to the movement of the crane girder over the gantry girder. Now we have to check D by TW ratio. There is a total provision here. We may check this. Let us rub out the red marks to see the provisions properly. So this is the provision which is given in IS 800 page 59 clause 8.4. It's important clause. We will see here. First of all, we have to check D by TW, check the buckling characteristics of the wave, whether there is shear buckling occurring due to shear. If the ratio is greater than 67 epsilon here, so 67 epsilon, if it is greater than that, there will be a chance of shear buckling. We have seen just now that in our case it is less than 67 epsilon, so we may say that our nominal shear Vn will be equals to Vp, that is plastic shear. So the value of the Vp is Av into Fy by root 3, and that will be divided by gamma m0 to get the design shear. So let us come here to see that whether we have checked the shear capacity, and we seen that the shear area is the area of the wave Av and Fy, and it is coming as 881.77, which is greater than the shear coming out of the section. So the result is the capacity of the section, shear capacity of the section is higher than the shear load, so it is safe. Now in the step 6 we will check it for the shear. High shear problem is given in the code itself. Again we will refer to the code where it is written here clearly that when a factored design shear force does not exceed 0.6 VD, where VD is the design shear, the cross section can be checked with this formula. That is, high shear problem is not occurring. So we will check. We have checked it for this high shear value. We see that this is coming as 340.25, and it is again less than the shear coming on the section. So it is safe against high shear. In step 7, we will check it for moment capacity. Now it is sure that if it is not high shear is occurring, we may use this formula for checking. This formula we can use. So these are the different references. We will check it here in MBZ, and that should be less than this value, and we have seen that after calculation putting the appropriate values, beta b is equals to 1, zpz we have calculated, fy equals to 250, and gamma m0 is 1.1, which is in table 5 page 30 of code. We have calculated the moment which is greater than the actual moment, actual maximum, absolute maximum bending moment coming in the section. So it is safe against bending. We have checked the capacity of the compression flange also, and it should be less than the permanent deformation. Let us refer the codal provision which was given in this, that to avoid the irreversible deformation under serviceability loads, MD shall be less than this value. So ZVE we have already calculated, so we checked this for the irreversible deformation. Irreversible deformation moment capacity of the flange, F stands for flange, is 158, whereas we have the F value is MF value, which is 21 point something. We have calculated and shown it in lecture 1, and we have also checked in step 9 for combined interaction. According to the codal provision, this ratio should be less than 1, and it is coming 0.797, which shows it is less than 1 but not very much less, so it is an economic solution also. So we now will go to the buckling resistance check, and here we will see the formula is different from the previous one, beta b into zp into fbd, where fbd can be seen here is multiplied by kappa lt, which is known as stress reduction factor, and is calculated here in the code with lambda lt and phi lt. Lambda lt the non-dimensional slenderness ratio, and phi lt is a element which is formed by alpha lt, which is the imperfection factor, and for the rolled section it will be 0.21, and alpha lt and with the lambda lt, which is non-dimensional slenderness ratio. And we can calculate these things by MCR and or by this formula. It can be calculated by this formula also, but it may cause a huge calculation, and to avoid that thing we have taken a help of a table, and something is required for the table. First of all, KL, the effective length of effective span of the gantry girder, it is 8 meter or 8,000 millimeter. IYY compound that we have calculated previously at the very beginning of this presentation, and A compound, the total cross-sectional area. We have added the cross-sectional area. Now we have calculated RYY, the slenderness ratio of the compound section along the y-axis. So it is coming as 71.57. The overall depth of the section H is equals to 600 plus the thickness of the cap wave of the cap channel is 7.6. So it's coming as 607.6. Now the thickness of the flange, we have added the thickness of the ISWB and the wave thickness of the ISMC cap channel. So the DH by F is coming as 16.03. KL by R is coming as 111.77. Now we have gone for the table, page 57 of IS 800 2007, table 14. So the age KL by R value is 111. So we have referred this column, this row, and for 16 point something we may go for 16 approximately. The value of FCRB can be calculated as 329.2 MPa. So we have gone to the another table, table 13A, which is for rolled section. For welded section, alpha LT value is different and it is given in table 13B. So we have seen that we have 311 value, so it may lie between these two. For 250, sorry, for FY 250, we have to go for this column. So we have interpolated the value of FBD between these two, and the interpolated value is 168.91 MPa. We have gone for a linear interpolation. So we have seen the MBZ is coming as 805.36, which is greater than the value of the absolute maximum bending moment, hence it is okay. We have again checked it for MDY of the flange. So it is again coming as the greater than the moment shared by the flange itself only. Now we have checked it in step 8 for the combined interaction, and it is coming as less than 1. So hence we may say that it is checked for combined interaction of buckling moment capacity also. Last of all, we have checked it for deflection, and the deflection was calculated with this formula. I missed a line here. It will be divided by 6EI. What is A? A is actually the distance of the span minus the wheelbase distance divided by 2, and we have also converted it in static wheel load, because we have to check the deflection for the static load, because we have seen in dynamic analysis the dynamic deflection sometimes may come even less than the static deflection, so we have to transfer it, and therefore the vertical deflection was seen to have a deflection of 9.56 millimeter, which is referred in the code for the gantry crane. It should be less than span by 500. It is given in table 6 of IS 800. So let us calculate. The permissible value is 16 millimeter, and it is greater than the 9.56 millimeter, which is actually coming. So we may say this is safe against deflection. With this, we have come to the end of the discussion of problem of design of gantry girder. Please feel free to put any question in my comment box. Hope we will meet again through this channel very soon. Thanks a lot.